Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Murray and I'd like to welcome you to The Gift of Giving. This program, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, is dedicated to these organizations, foundations, non-profits and fundraisers here in the state of Nevada, making our world a brighter and better place. Sorry about that. Today our guest is George Petty from Shine a Light Foundation, and he's going to tell us what they're doing to make Las Vegas better and brighter. Welcome to the program, George, and thanks for coming. And you're representing Shine a Light Foundation. Would you like to give us a very brief overview of when Shine a Light was founded and what its mission is?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Steve. So, Shine a Light is a nonprofit organization. Our grassroots are homeless outreach who go in underground through the tunnels of Las Vegas, and we help people with our iPath program, which is our long-term case management program.
Great, okay. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of what Shine a Light Foundation does, you yourself used to live in the tunnels, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes. So
okay.
I was.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about what it was like and how
absolutely.
long you were there for? Share your experience with our viewers, if you will.
Okay, so I was homeless. I like to say about three and a half years. The lines kind of get blurred a little bit. It could have been a little bit longer. It could have been a little bit less of time. But so I was homeless for about 3.5 years, and I lived underground probably for about half of that time. In the tunnels, I lived about half of the time that I was homeless underground. It kind of started. I don't know how much time we really got to go on this, but it kind of started with my my alcoholism and my drug addiction. I misused substances for a while, and it kind of brought me to a place where, I lost my job of 13 years. I'm married with a 13-year-old son now. And so through all of that, I'm married, I have a child, and, I let my addiction, it got the best of me. I ended up, losing everything, the house, the car. My wife went to go stay with her parents because, enough was enough. And she took my child out of that toxic environment, and I ended up losing it all and homeless on the streets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's one horrendous story. And how did you get your food on the streets? How did you survive in the tunnels?
So everybody kind of plays a role, Everybody kind of plays a role in the underground community. Whoever had the drugs, some people would bring the food, some people, everybody had their own little thing that they did down there. I didn't eat a lot when I was out there. Full transparency, I didn't eat a whole lot, but when I did, I would go into the grocery store and steal the food. I'd steal what I had to do, or once in a while we'd come up on some money and we'd be able to go buy a cheeseburger. But my main focus was, how was I going to get my next drug? How was I going to get my next fix? What was I going to do? That's what fueled me while I was down there.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
That's tough to turn that life around, and you did.
Yeah.
Before we get into how that came about, how many tunnels are there in Las Vegas, and approximately how many people are living there?
So there's over 600 miles of flood drains, tunnels throughout the valley. Yeah, and there is about an estimated 2,000 people who live underground.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you see the same people month after month, year after year, living down there?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part,
you couldn't really go into that environment unless you were welcomed in. It's not like you can just go down there and set up camp and like you're okay to be there. You got to know somebody. You got to know somebody who's allowing you to come down there, and it's fueled off of if you have drugs or what can you bring to the table. What is it that you can bring to their community?
Do you get many? When you were there, did you see many families there? Did you see many children living there, or
not
parents
too much.
with kids? Not too much.
Not too much. No.
So they're not living in. You don't have kids living in the tunnels.
I mean, I'm sure there is. Where I was at,
significant number.
Yeah, where I was at, there was no families with children.
Yes.
Not saying that there's not families with children who are homeless, but where I was at, people who lived underground were mostly grown adults.
Wow. What was the catalyst that actually had you turn your life around? What was it that suddenly, did you just suddenly wake up one day and say, hey, I've got to change this? Or was there something that triggered off your changing
So there
your
was
life around?
there's years of abusive relationship with myself that kind of led me to get into enough pain to where I was able to make the change. And I didn't do it on my own. You know, I got arrested February 14th of 2020. Did 40 days in the county jail here. During that time, something happened. Something happened that, you know, affected all of us. It was the coronavirus. COVID happened. You know, so I get out of jail March 27th. You know, the world shut down. Downtown's a ghost town. Everybody's inside. And, you know, I like to say, and initially, like, I really didn't want to be homeless when I got out of jail. But what fueled it more was, you know, there was nobody outside. And what was I going to do? You know, and so, you know, this is how God shows up for me in my life. I go out to the same homeless place that I'm out, and I get a hold of a friend of mine's number, and he says, hey, you should call this guy. He can help you. And that ended up being the outreach director of the Shine a Light Foundation.
Wow.
So I talked to him, and I got out at 5 a.m. that day, and through those series of events, I was able to get his number and give him a call, and he had me in a bed in treatment that afternoon.
And then how long were you in that treatment program?
So I went into, it was Freedom House over there. I went into that treatment program. I ended up staying there 6 months. I transitioned out of that program into another sober living, and I stayed there for a month. And, you know, during that time, I was able to work on myself, and I reconnected with my family. You know, and it kind of, it started out slow. It started out like, hey, maybe I'll bring you a box of soups and a pack of boxers so you can have some clean underwear and something to eat. And then it kind of turned into, hey, our son's birthday's coming up. Do you want to come?
Wow.
And then it turned into 4th of July's coming. Hey, you should come to my parents' house. And mind you, I had messed all those relationships up. Her parents didn't like me anymore. No one did, you know. No one did at that point. So I was able to kind of rekindle those relationships, and, you know, show them in my actions that I was kind of trying to be serious about my sobriety, and I was. You know, I was ready to make a change through all of that pain that I went through being out there.
Well, I've got to tell you, George, you have to be an inspiration to any of our viewers out there who are watching and listening to this program, because your story is probably not unique. There's probably loads of programs that went through the same pain and torment that you went through and are struggling and trying to build back their lives. And are things now better with your wife and your son? Have they connected with you?
Oh yeah,
now?
Yeah. So since during that time after I did the month in the other sober living, we you know, I was able to save up enough money. I got a job, and I'm working the whole time, and you know, and she's still working. She's holding it down, and we moved into our own place. You know, and a lot of different great things have happened since then. You know, I'm able to coach my kid's little league team. You know, I'm active in his school activities and the things that he has going on in his life, and I'm just able to be present. You know, I'm able to show up and you know, so yeah, we reconnected. You know, we're married. It'll be 14 years this December, and my hat's off to her, because she stuck through that bit of time where I wasn't there. You know, where I wasn't there and I was out.
And now you're dedicating a lot of your time to Shine Light Foundation.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a couple of minutes break. Hold that thought for a moment.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we're going to talk about Shine Light Foundation, what it actually does, and George's role in the foundation itself. Stay tuned.
At Lucia Capital Group, we've been helping people manage risk and plan for their future through some of the most challenging market conditions. Volatility in the stock market will never go away, so it's really all about your strategy and how you react to it. Our bucket strategy aims to help you manage your financial goals even during the most uncertain times. I'm Joshua Dowden. I've been working with clients here for more than 16 years, and I can help you as well. My office is right here in the heart of Summerlin, just north of Charleston Boulevard. Don't let the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Call me today for a free consultation, 702-508-6421. That's 702-508-6421.
Thank you for joining us, and thank our sponsor for supporting this program. And welcome back, George. So let's get into Shine Light Foundation. You said they helped you out and they put you in the program. What do you know what the catalyst was? How did Shine Light Foundation come into being?
So it was an author named Matthew O'Brien was chasing a story about someone who had killed someone, T.J. Weber, down in he killed someone and went to escape into the tunnels, and he was chasing that story and went down there and kind of seen that there was a community of people living underground, and that's what kind of kicked it off. I think it really jump started in 2017 when he passed it over to our executive director. He passed it over to our executive director, Paul Wolcherno, and kind of what it looked like for him at that time was him and a small group of guys were going out every Saturday morning with their own backpacks, small supplies, water, socks, maybe a granola bar, some batteries, and a flashlight, and that was like the key to the door to their conversation. He was able to, hey, here's a pair of socks, and he worked in treatment at the time and still does, and said, I have a way to help you out. And I think that first year they were able to get 8 people out, 8 people who accepted help and went in through treatment. And last year alone we got 335 people, and this year we just hit our 400 mark for the year of how many people we've connected with, and they've opted into our iPath program.
Wow, that's amazing. Boy, what an accomplishment. 400 people. And how do you pick out those? Do you just reach out to an individual and strike up a conversation with them, or? Yeah,
kindness, love. We go and love on them. We translate that into our case management program as well. And we sit out there and we talk to them just like me and you are doing right now. We just meet them eye to eye on a human level, and everybody's story is different. Of course. Everybody has different things going on. Someone might have severe mental health. Someone might have a severe drug addiction. Someone might not have either. So my outreach director said it best. He says we can't just paint with one brush, right? No. We can't just, it has to be a broad stroke of these are the needs that he needs, and these are the needs that she needs, and we're going to meet them where they're at, and we're going to help them with those needs, right? So once they opt in, and this is my favorite part, is the case management, our continuity case management. We're able to help them for the next year to 18 months, and it's been beyond that. In July we had our first graduation of 29 people, and every single one of those individuals are leaders in our community now, and they're involved with their organization, and I text them every day and I talk to them on the phone. So it's not just, hey, we walked you through the next year to 18 months of your life. They're family, right? They're our family now.
Yes. Yeah. Now, is it a set program? 18 months? Is that how long the program?
18 months, 2 years. When we feel that they're able to complete. Yes. But like I said, it's a running joke in the office where our executive director says he still case manages our outreach director, and Rob, our outreach director, still says he case manages me. 4 years later, right? So we're still in each other's lives, we're a family now. We're a big tribe. We're a big community of people. Then we're waiting for the next one to come up, and when they're willing to accept the help, they're part of our family, right?
Yes, right. But when they're accepting the help, some people adapt and learn quicker than others, and so some people it might take them longer to get through the program. So your program is not a strict 18-month course. No. You vary it depending on the needs of the actual
18
individual.
Months, 2 years,
Yes. When you're out speaking to the people, and as you said, you're spreading love and you're talking to them, what is it that indicates to you that they're ready to receive the help that you're offering? Do they give some indication, or?
So a lot of times they'll be on the fence about it. And it's just, what are your barriers? What is it that you think that, what are your fears? A big part of it is this too. If I asked you, Steve, right now, take everything your house, all the things and come with me for a better life. You might be in a little bit of fear. You might not say, okay, well, I got a lot of good stuff going on. Well, that's their life, you know. They've been maladjusted to life, so that's the life that they know. And essentially that's what we're asking them to do. Leave everything you know behind and come with us for a better life. You know, so if you think of it that way, there's times where they're going to be scared. They're going to be scared of the unknown, right? They're not going to know what's going on.
I think we all fear the unknown no matter
right.
what. And as you've alluded to, their little space in the tunnels, I would suspect they're very territorial. They stick to the same space, I would imagine, and they've got their few possessions, and that's their security blanket, if you will. So it's got to be very hard to pull them away from that.
It's what they've known. It's what they've known for years or months or, you know, however long they've been out there.
If you you volunteer, and we'll get into the amount of time that you volunteer for this organization. You go and volunteer and you talk to somebody. If you get an inkling that they might be interested or might be open, do you go back the next day or the next time you're in the tunnel? Do you seek them out and try and encourage them to participate?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if they give us a sign that they're going to come.
So it's the same.
Yeah, we you know, it's like chopping wood. Maybe this week we chopped a barrier off, and it's like, okay, I can help you with that when you're ready. And the next week it's something else, and we just keep going down there, loving on them. You know.
Wow.
They're human beings, right?
Yeah, of course they are. Yes, they're individuals. They're part of the Nevada family of residents.
100%.
You know,
100%.
We should all be one big happy family here. I mean, that should be our goals anyway. I was going to ask you, how many hours do you put in a week of volunteering? Because you're giving a lot back to this organization now, and it's a credit to yourself that you're giving back now. I
started volunteering in 2020 when I first went through the program. You know, it was my way of initially giving back every day. I was out there on a Saturday. And now it's kind of transformed into this. So I'm the lead program case manager with this organization. So when they are willing to accept help, I'm one of the few that helps them walk through the next year to 18 months. You know, what do you need? ID. Okay, you need your birth certificate. Okay, you need your social security card. You haven't seen a doctor in X amount of time. Let's get you established with a dental provider. Treatment placement. You know, transitional housing placement. Where are you at with this? You know, so we continue to help them, and that's a big part of my role. So
you're not just bringing them out; it's the ongoing support, as you said, all those issues that they need to have dealing with.
Yeah.
Boy, what a support group! What a support group!
You know, if I just take someone and drop them off at detox and say, "Good luck, see you later," like, what's going to happen, right? They need someone to walk them through that. You know, and well, not necessarily hold their hand, but they need someone to be there when they are having troubles, when they need someone to talk to, you know, that extra added support, the safety net that's here in Nevada, right? Because we do have a big safety net of resources, and we tap into them. We've tapped into those resources, you know. Someone might need childcare. Someone might say, okay, I don't need sober living for 3 months, but I have a child that, you know, and we're able to step in and figure that out for them, right? And help them figure that out.
Hold that thought. We're going to take another commercial break, and we'll be right back. Cool. And please stay tuned. We're going to take a little break to hear from our next sponsor, and we'll be right back.
As a proud sponsor of the Gift of Giving, Thomas Dermatology is deeply rooted in its Las Vegas community and is always looking for ways to give back and continue to serve patients of the Las Vegas Valley. Amidst the rapidly and ever-changing landscape of healthcare delivery, both nationally and locally, our singular focus on patient care has remained constant. We have grown responsibly, enabling our team of skincare experts to provide all the benefits of a large practice while maintaining the care and relationships that comes with a small, private, local practice. For patients with cosmetic interests, Thomas Dermatology has an extensive aesthetics department featuring a team of experts who provide cosmetic injections like Botox and dermal fillers, as well as a full suite of state-of-the-art lasers and med spa services. The newest addition to the clinic is a facial plastic surgery division, allowing us to treat the aging face more comprehensively. These services are complemented by our extensive inventory of skincare products, offering patients the necessary and evidence-based ingredients to improve and maintain the health and look of their skin at home. Thomas Dermatology strives to be a part of every step in the patient's journey to healthy skin. We look forward to welcoming you and your families.
And thank you for joining us back on this program, and thank you for staying with us, George. Yes. And you were just talking about some of the services that you provide when you rescue the people from the tunnels. When the tunnels get flooded, that has to be a huge concern for Shiny Light Foundation, and I know it's been on the news that you do an awful lot in that area. Is that one of the times when you actually volunteer and go and help when there are the floods in the tunnels?
Yeah. So when there is a big storm or a lot of rain, what we'll do is we'll get a group out the next day, and we'll go down and we'll do some spot checks, make sure everybody's okay, make sure so they know us, right? Every team that goes out has a team lead throughout the valley, so they know our organization. So we'll send people out and we'll start just doing spot checks, make sure everybody who's normally there is there, and just continue to check on them and see how they're doing. This last flood we had, there was actually a gentleman and his wife who he got banged up pretty good, and so they went to one of our local hospitals, and I guess that was probably the catalyst for him to say, look, I'm done with this and I need some help. And he called me from the hospital, said I'm getting discharged. So we mobilized right away and found him some treatment, and now him and his wife are on their way to do their recovery process.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many teams do you have that go out into the tunnels when there are the floods?
On average, about six teams.
And then how many people are there in each team?
So we can have anywhere from 60 to, it just depends on the Saturday and who comes out with our volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 6 teams with 60 people each in them, or approximately, could be up to 60 people each?
Yeah, 60 people total, yeah.
60 people total,
yeah, right.
So 10 per team.
Yeah, and sometimes it can vary, it can go up, sometimes it can, yeah.
It just depends on who actually shows up.
Who's coming to volunteer that week.
So it's mainly a volunteer organization. I'm sure there are some paid staff, but is it mainly volunteers in the organization?
Yeah, with our outreach team, 100%. We couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. They're a vital part of our organization as far as, donating their time to go out every Saturday, donating their time to come and help pack bags. And, we just, like I said earlier, our community shows up.
Wow. When you say pack bags, this is with food needs, basic necessities and things like that?
Yeah, so every Wednesday we get a group of volunteers together, and we pack small bags that'll have like a granola bar, some socks, some batteries, things like that. And then we partner with a lot of people that just they'll make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or whatever it is for that week. Cool. And we'll take those out on Saturday. Okay. Yeah.
And things like the socks and the granola bars, are they donated, or is it funds that you receive and you go out and purchase them at Costco or things like that? Or
so everything's normally donated through our website. Yeah, donated.
That's great. Yeah. Is it mainly corporations that donate, or is it a lot of individuals?
It's a lot of individuals.
A lot of individuals.
I would say a lot of individuals. We do get some corporations that want to give us some things, and they'll donate to our organization. Yeah.
Do you get much in the way of government grants or anything like that?
No, we don't get
no government grants. All corporate and individuals.
Well, it's all public. All Steve wants to be a monthly donor for $25 a month to our organization that helps with helping someone through treatment, paying for transitional housing, maybe buying them their birth certificate, case management service, like all of those things. So a lot of it is public donations from people in the community. Yeah.
If people want to donate to Shiny Light Foundation, George, where can they go to donate funds?
So they can go on our Network for Good, and our Network for Good, and we also have the Amazon wish list, will have like a box of granola bars, and they can go on the Amazon wish list for that, and then for monetary donations they can go to our Network for Good. That's
good to know. So hopefully you got that information, folks, and very needy and worthy cause here. They'd certainly appreciate any donations that you can do financially or otherwise. So volunteers, when people sign up to volunteer, and I know that volunteers are always needed, are there any qualifications that you require them? Do you do any background checks or anything like that? Or
No.
can they just call and pitch up and you'll put them to work?
Yeah, so one of the more family-friendly one is the bag packing that I talked about. You can bring out your kids and we can help pack all the bags, and that's on Wednesday night at our office at 4:30. We do that, and then our outreach team goes out every Saturday. We leave from our office at 8 a.m. Then we just have them sign a small waiver and just go out. Yep.
Would you like to give us the address of the office where?
Yeah, so it's 2330 Highland Drive.
2330 Highland Drive, if you want to volunteer and go and help pack bags. And is that where they would show up on a Saturday?
Yep, same place.
And again, they can just pitch up and you'll assign them with a team?
Sign them with the team.
So if they've never done it before, they don't have to worry. There'll be somebody there that will help guide them through
Absolutely.
what they need to do. So, okay, that sounds great. I think you've done a wonderful job, George, of shining a light on Shine a Light Foundation.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for being a guest here today. It's been great having you and sharing your life's experience and how you've turned it around. You're an inspiration to a lot of people out there. So thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me.
And I'd like to thank our show's producer, John Stiles, and WWDBTV for allowing me to host this program, which I really enjoy doing. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Thomas Dermatology, Joshua Dowden, Lucia Capital Group, and RJ Champion, whose message you will hear following at the end of this program. And I'd like to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in and spending your time with us. Please share this information with anybody who you think might be able to help this organization. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, Stephen, at thegiftofgiving.vegas. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this program. Hopefully we'll see you next week. In the meantime, stay safe, be kind to one another, and have a fantastic week. Goodbye.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.